Hey guys, it's an exciting day here in the office. We have in this box the Lenovo Chromebook 10e, which if you're not familiar with this device, the reason we're so excited about it is the kind of education focused, more ruggedized version of the very highly anticipated Lenovo Chromebook Duet. Inside, it's got the same processor, it's got the same awesome looking screen, it's got pogo pin connections, all that cool stuff. And so we're gonna be able to take this device and get a good idea of what it's gonna be like to use that Chromebook Duet that everybody is so eager to get. Now, we're not expecting there to be a keyboard in this one. I don't think it comes with that, but it just went up for sale not too long ago. So we obviously ordered one and it literally just showed up from FedEx a few minutes ago. So we're gonna get our trusty razor blade and get in the box and check it out. It is a lot of stuffing. Get all this out of here. So yeah, very light indeed. It should be, it's just a tablet. So again, I'm not expecting to get a keyboard with this. It'd be awesome if it was included, but the website, everywhere that this thing is listed, says that it is an optional keyboard, and it appears no keyboard. So in the box, again, this is pretty straightforward. Chromebook Fair. And this little baby charger. This looks like a phone charger. Look how little it is. So yeah, we'll talk about how well this charges, how quickly. It is USB Type-C, so A to C, nothing surprising there. Might not be the fastest charging thing we've ever seen. Oh my gosh, it's so light. It's so wee. Yeah, setup guide, nothing unique there. And in the wrapper, ooh, it's got a nice like texture, almost like sandstone kind of finish. Maybe you can see that there. It's kind of like this nice sandstone, just grippy finish. So that shouldn't be too surprising, honestly. Again, this version of this tablet is going to have a little bit thicker bezels around the edges, and we'll see that once we get the screen powered on. And then there's kind of like a rubber bumper, basically, that's kind of between the glass and the outside of it. This thing is made to take a beating. They haven't said exactly what kind of mil spec or anything like that it's rated for, but it is made to survive the classroom. So it's a little bit bigger in all dimensions. It's a little thicker, it's a little wider, it's a little taller than the Lenovo Chromebook Duet. But I can tell you, this is easily a one-handed device, no problems. This is very comfortable to hold in one hand, especially with this kind of grippy texture here. I mean, this is gonna be a very good device to hold in one hand. Lenovo is saying that they're gonna ship a keyboard that goes with this, similar to the Duet, except for that keyboard on this one won't contain a trackpad. And not sure what the play is there exactly, but maybe they think that kids are going to use the USI stylus that eventually will ship with this thing too. But again, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. We've got the MediaTek Helio P60T processor inside. This model comes with 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal storage. It ran us about $250. You've got I want to say 2 megapixel camera up front, and then the rear camera is an 8 megapixel shooter. Yeah, and from our time with this thing in Las Vegas, I can tell you it was relatively snappy and felt good in one-handed use. And so those are kind of the most important things. It's got a 400 nit display on it. It's full HD plus, so instead of 1920 by 1080, it's 1920 by 1200. So you're getting a little bit of a taller display, so it doesn't feel as ridiculous when you hold it this way. But the fact that it's a little more narrow, I have relatively big hands, but I can hold it technically with one hand all the way around, which is kind of cool. But again, like I said, the weight of it feels great. The Lenovo Chromebook Duet is just under a pound, so I think it's like 0.99 pounds. This one is a little bit over a pound, so not too much heavier, and the battery life is supposed to be about 10 hours, but we're gonna cut away real quick. I'm gonna at least fire it up and check a couple things really quickly before we get out of here. All right, we've got all logged in and kind of sort of in the process of setting this thing up. And one thing right out of the box that's really cool to see is the fact that Google is shipping a new tab strip in Chrome. So it's a new way for you to see your tabs. So we've talked about this in other videos before, but right out of the box in Chrome 81, this device and the Duet will both get this. And this is the ability to see your tabs kind of up here as little cards and, you know, navigate between them. And flick them away and all that kind of stuff. So it's fun to see that arrive right out of the box. So far, I'm not going to talk about the performance of this thing until I actually use it on a day-to-day basis. So far, it's moving around nice and quick. The display is insanely bright, and it is marketed as 400 nits. So let me just crank it up so you can see it. It'll probably blow the shot out. But yeah, super, super bright. Great viewing angles just from every angle. Great colors. Like, the display looks really awesome. And I can't emphasize, just in the few moments of setting this thing up, how tablet-like this whole experience feels. Compared with ones that came before, like the Acer Chromebook Tab 10, this thing is lighter, it's a little bit thinner, and the Duet's gonna be even more so. But just being able to kind of flick around, you know, flick up to go home and move things around just via touch, and this whole thing feeling more like a tablet. Before, when we would do any kind of unboxing or tablet setups, I would immediately go hunting for a keyboard of some sort and a mouse so I could get through the setup process. And I didn't feel the need to really do that at all here. The virtual keyboard's really nice. The whole thing feels very snappy. And Chrome OS is starting to feel a lot more at home on a tablet. The only other thing I want to do is, let me play just a quick little bit of audio because I'm curious. We've got top firing speakers up here. We've got a dual microphone array as well up top. And I would assume this is going to make for some pretty good video calls. Obviously, we will be testing that whenever we go through our testing process. And while I'm talking about the outside, you've got the power, the volume rocker on the side. This one has a headphone microphone jack, which is interesting because the Duet does not. The Duet has the rockers and then just one USB Type-C. Cool part is, along with those pogo pins on the bottom for the Duet, especially when you have it kind of docked in, if you need to run some sort of external stuff to it, that USB-C being at the bottom is super beneficial because it's not way up at the top with a cable falling over the edge. So it is definitely nice to see that. All right, I am logged into YouTube. Let me pull up one of our videos so we don't get in trouble and just see what these speakers sound like.
The 434. Here in 2020, ASUS has unveiled the ASUS Chromebook Flip C436.
Pretty small sounding.
And it's a follow-up to last year's very well-received.
They are stereo for what that's worth.
And those model numbers sound
Let's
very
see if I can get to our intro music.
Both of these devices share a ton of stuff.
It's got some stereo stuff to it. You do get stereo separation, but it is very quiet for some reason.
They're awesome at what they do. That's keeping your browsing safe and secure whether you're at
I'm not sure if
home or
that's,
on the go.
I accidentally opened up the YouTube app. Let me go to actually YouTube on the web.
20 ASUS has
Nope, sounds like they're just really tiny.
ASUS Chromebook Flips.
That's literally all the volume we get. I can talk right over this without really raising my voice at all, and it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, don't expect stellar sound out of these. That's kind of a bummer because there are some tablets out there with good speakers on them. This is definitely not going to be one of them. But screen looks great. Performance thus far feels very snappy, moving things around. It'll be interesting to see how it docks into a secondary display and moves around with a mouse and keyboard and gets around that way. But those things aside, for $250, I mean, you're getting a very functional tablet that's going to be able to be used for all kinds of stuff like reading books, consuming content, sitting back and watching a movie, probably with headphones in. But yeah, we have a lot of things we are going to test with this device because we're not sure when the Duet's going to be out. We feel like it's going to be May, highly likely, but we don't fully know absolutely for sure. So in the meantime, we can test pretty much everything the Duet is going to be able to do on this device here, the Chromebook 10e, and let you guys know exactly how this thing's going to perform in real world use. But guys, that's it for this one. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Go down there and hit the subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification bell as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one and get around to reviewing this one in particular. And don't forget to hit the join button as well if you'd like to see all the stuff our members get, like behind the scenes footage and custom emoji. Till next time, we'll see you.